Hello, I hope that you are enjoying my lectures. I try my level best to simplify the economic thoughts, especially on macroeconomics. And today I am going to introduce the Samuelson's model of the trade cycle. The Samuelson's model of trade cycle has a background. In the Keynesian's thought of the trade cycle, there is multiplier. There is fluctuation, but that fluctuation is static. There is no dynamic fluctuations. Only the multiplier has a role in the Keynesian model of the trade cycle. So this gap was introduced by the Samuelson in his model of the trade cycle. He introduced multiplier as well as the accelerator, and the procedure through which the multiplier and accelerator actually work, it can be seen here. Before going into the multiplier accelerator interaction procedure, you have a clear idea about the induced investment and the autonomous investment. When investment depends on income, that is, investment is a function of income, then it is the induced investment. Actually, income generates investment. When investment does not depend on income, then the investment is autonomous. When income, there is an increase in autonomous investment and income increases as a result of this, there the multiplier has a role. Multiplier effect is there. And when income increases, and as a result of that, investment increases, that is the induced investment. And for that induced investment, income also increases through the accelerator procedure. There is the accelerator, that is the capital output ratio. Okay, so now have a closer look on this multiplier accelerator interactions method. If there is an increase, in autonomous investment, then income will increase through the multiplier procedure. Okay, through the multiplier procedure. So there is increase in income, and as there is increase in income, investment increases. As there is an increase in investment, this increase in investment is the induced investment. This investment increases income, okay, through acceleration. Through acceleration. Here is the role of acceleration. Here is the role of multiplier, and here is the role of acceleration, okay. So, and this increase in income leads to increase in aggregate demand. And again, aggregate demand increases investment, leads to increase in investment. Okay, so this is the procedure through which the multiplier and acceleration procedure interacts. Both have a role. Both have a role. But in the Keynesian understanding of the trade cycle, there is only multiplier. There is static fluctuation. Okay. Now I am erasing all this marking. Now we construct the Samuelson model. So we have a equation that is the income at current period is equal to the summation of government expenditure at period T, and consumption and investment. Okay, so consumption has its own function. This function is consumption has. Okay, consumption has two parts. One is autonomous consumption, another is another part depends on income, previous period income. Okay, so C is the marginal propensity to consume, and the value of the marginal propensity to consume lies between 0 and 1. Okay, because marginal propensity to consume and marginal propensity to save is equal to 1. So this is the consumption function. Investment, similarly, investment has its own function. And here also it has two parts. One is autonomous investment and another is the change in income. Change in income. And this is the capital output ratio. This is the accelerator. Okay, this is the accelerator. Now we put the values of IT and CT and IT in this equation. And we get ultimately this. Just simple understanding that I put the values of IT and CT in this equation. And now, after rearranging, ultimately we get this. Ultimately we get this part. YT is equal to 1 plus CA plus IA plus C plus gamma multiplied by the previous period income and gamma multiplied by the 2 period ago income. Okay, so this is the capital output ratio. This is the marginal propensity to consume. This is the autonomous part of consumption. This is the autonomous part of investment. Therefore, what can be concluded from here? Therefore, national income at period T depends on previous two periods weighted national income. Look, previous two period, current income depends on previous two period income. Okay, look, YT minus 1, and as far as the Samuelson model is concerned, and income and weights depend on the marginal propensity to consume, which is this weight. This is a weight, this is another weight. Okay, so weights depends upon the marginal propensity to consume and capital output ratio. This is also the capital output ratio. The value marginal propensity to consume is less than 1 and lies between the less than 1 and greater than, sorry, and MPC value of MPC is less than 1 but greater than 0. The value of the accelerator is greater than 0. Value of accelerator is greater than 0. And Professor Samuelson explained 5 types of fluctuation depending on the value of marginal propensity to consume and the value of accelerator. Okay. Now I am erasing all this marking. Now, interaction effect, this is the case 1. This picture belongs to case 1. Interaction effect on income, where MPC is 0.5 and accelerator is 0. When there is no accelerator effect, then there is no cycle. There is no cycle, only static fluctuations are there as far as the Keynesian concept is concerned, where accelerator has no role. So the cycle-less income path is this. Cycle-less income path is this. Okay. Again, look at the case 2. Here, in case 2, the marginal propensity to consume is 0.5 and accelerator is 1. Before, in case 1, there is accelerator is 0, but here accelerator is 1. When accelerator is 1 and the MPC is half, then damped oscillation is the damped oscillation. Oscillation is damped. Look very carefully, the oscillation is damped here. It is damped around the static multiplier. Okay, around the static multiplier, it is damped. The following figure depicts this. This figure depicts that the when marginal propensity to consume half, but accelerator is 1. Now case 3, the simulations model on the basis of the marginal propensity to consume and accelerator. Here marginal propensity to consume is 5 and accelerator is 2. The multiplier and acceleration interaction effect on income depicts cycles of constant amplitude. When accelerator is 2 and marginal propensity half, then there is a constant cycles but constant amplitude. Okay, constant amplitude. And if you have a closer look on this picture, then you can easily understand. Now the case 4, where the marginal propensity to consume is 0.5, but accelerator is 3. Accelerator is increasing case by case. Okay, it is, in case 1 it was 0, and in case 2 it is 1. In case 3, it is 2, and in case 4, it is 3. Now, what happens? Multiple and acceleration interaction effect on income depicts explosive cycles. Here, the cycle is explosive. When accelerator is high, is 3, the cycle is explosive. Cycle is explosive. This figure shows this. Okay, this is the case 4 of the evolution model on the basis of the marginal propensity to consume and accelerator. Okay, now the case 5, the interaction effect on income when marginal propensity is 0.5 and accelerator is 4. When the accelerator is 4 with marginal propensity to consume is 0.5, that is half, then there is a cycleless explosive income path. Look at this picture very carefully. Here also the cycleless explosive income path. Cycleless explosive income path. This is the case 5 as far as the Samuelson model of Tate cycle is concerned on the basis of marginal propensity to consume and the accelerator. Okay. Now we try to understand how the marginal propensity to consume and accelerator works. The change in accelerator works practically. We try to understand how this change in accelerator affects. How the change in accelerator affects the income path. Okay. Look, this is the initial consumption. This is the initial consumption. This is the induced investment column. This is the induced net national income column, and this is total income. This is the total income. By taking summation of this column, and this column, we get this. So when there is a initial consumption is 10, then there is no induced investment. As there is no induced investment, there is no induced income, induced net in national income. Therefore, total income is 10 plus 0 equal to 10. Now, in period 2, there is initial consumption. All the periods actually, there is 11 periods, and in all the periods there is initial consumption is 10. But here the income is 10. So by using the multiplier, we get this amount of induced investment. And by multiplying this induced investment, that is the difference 0 to 5, by multiplying this part, that is 0, and the difference between 0 and 5, that is 5, by 2, that is the accelerator, we get 10. We get 10. Okay, we multiplied the difference between the two. We get 10, and now therefore 10 plus 5 plus 10 equal to 25. Now the income is 25, and now we multiply this 25 by 0.5. We get this amount of induced investment. This amount of induced investment. So induced investment. So the increase in induced investment is 5 to 12.5. 5 to 12.5, that is 7.5. And now the increase in induced investment, that is the 7.5, that is the 7.5 multiplied by the 2, we get 15. We get 15. Okay, so this is the induced net in national income. And now by taking summation of 10, 12.5 and 15, we get 37.5. In the same way, the 37.5 multiplied by the multiplier, that is 0.5, we get this induced investment, 18.75. And now the gap, the difference between the 18.75 and 12.5 is nothing but the 6.25. And now we multiplied 6.25 by 2, accelerator is 2, by 2, then we get 12.5. This is the induced net in national income. So adding 10 with 18.75 and 12.5, we get this 41.25. Okay, so this is the total income by using the multiplier and accelerator. Hope you are understanding. You get the point. Okay, similarly, this is the 41.25, now the total income, and by multiplying this total income with the 0.5, we get the induced investment. Okay, and the change in induced investment is nothing but the 20.625 minus 18.75. We get this amount. We get 3.75 multiplying by the 2, the gap multiplying by the 2, we get this. So ultimately we get 34.375 by adding 10, 20.625, 3.75 and 30, and adding these three parts, we get the 34.375. So in this way we get the induced investment and induced net in national income, and ultimately the total income up to the POT level, we get this investment, and this is the national income, induced net in national income. It is the total income. Okay, so if we plot these values in a graph, then we get the graph. Okay, I am erasing all this marking. Okay, otherwise I would not be able to shift my slide. Look this curve, the figure 3, the graphical presentation of interaction between the multiplier and accelerator. 0.5 when marginal propensity to consume is 0.5 and accelerator is 2, we get this type of curve where the constant amplitude, where the cycle is constant, where the cycle is constant. Look, this is the case. Actually, case 1, the accelerator is 0. In case 2, accelerator is 1. In case 3, the accelerator is 2. The case 3, as far as the Samuelson model is concerned, the figure is this on the basis of an example which is cited in my previous slide. Okay. Now, so multiplier acceleration interaction effect on income has a merit. It has a merit. In this model, income grows faster than multiplier or accelerator model unaccompanied. If only accelerator is there, if multiplier is only there, then this model where the multiplier and accelerator jointly work, income goes faster comparative to the single multiplier, single accelerator model. Okay, it removes the shortcomings of the Keynes's static fluctuation model, because we have found there is a dynamic cycle fluctuations, It not only represents the dynamic fluctuation, but also provides a direction to stabilize the economy. It also provides, the Samuelson model also provides the direction. Explosiveness of the cycle depends on the value of the capital output ratio, the accelerator. Explosiveness of the cycle depends on the accelerator, that is the capital output ratio. How much capital is used per unit of output, that matters there. Larger the value of accelerator, greater is the chance of explosiveness. That is, larger the value of accelerator, that is larger the value of capital per unit of output, greater is the chance of explosiveness. There are a number of loopholes in the Samuelson model. He did not say anything about the time span of dissimilar cycles. Okay. In his model, the marginal propensity to consume and capital output ratio are constant. Though in reality, both are not constant. They are changeable. Capital marginal propensity to consume is changeable. Accelerator is changeable. Capital per head is changeable. So the major unclear part of the Samuelson's model is that there is no trend. It is the main loophole. It has no trend in income path. Fluctuations are around the static level. There is no trend, but there is a fluctuation around the static path. But in reality, there are trends in income path. You must remember that in reality, there is a trend in GDP, there is a trend in income, and it is found in USA and UK economy. And USA and UK economy, it is easily found that there is a trend in income path, and there is also oscillations. J.R. Hicks, in his book, A Contribution to the Theory of the Trade Cycle, cleared the loophole found in the multiplayer accelerator interaction model of Samuelson. So here is the role of Hicks, where Hicks cleared the loophole that actually found in the multiplayer accelerator interaction model of Samuelson. So this is the main understanding of the Samuelson. This is the main understanding of the Samuelson model. This is the main understanding of the Samuelson model. Samuelson model of the trade cycle, where there is a fluctuations, but fluctuations is a dynamic. It is not similar with the Keynesian, because Keynesian state cycle is just Keynesian trade cycle actually used the multiplier, only the multiplier. So there is a fluctuation, but that fluctuation is static. That fluctuation is static fluctuation. So in the Samuelson model, we have found the interaction between the multiplier and the accelerator. So this is the Samuelson model of the trade cycle. Hope you have a clear understanding about the Samuelson model of trade cycle. I hope that this lecture will be beneficial to you, and it should be mentioned here that a number of questions actually in many type of examinations, national level examinations, especially in net examination, UGC, which is actually conducted by the UGC, the Samuelson model of Samuelson model of trade cycle, and there are a number of questions. So I hope that you have a clear idea over this model, and I thank you for watching my video.